Hello, here we are again. Welcome back, fans of podcasts, of Carioca podcasts. Good night, good evening, good morning. I don't know what time you're going to listen this podcast, or I don't know what time you're going to watch in this video. That's why. So today I have a special guest with me. He's an American guy from USA. His name is Michael, and that's why we decided to record this episode specifically in English. But don't worry, maybe, I'm not sure, but maybe we're going to try to put the subtitle before uploading the video on YouTube. Is that right? I don't know if it's possible to do on time, but okay, we have intention to do it. So, Michael, thank you for attending this podcast. I need to say that we don't have money to pay you, okay? So you are the guest today. Just share your
No,
feelings.
whenever I ran a podcast for sillylinguistics.com, I never paid anybody either, so don't feel bad.
Okay, so all right, and
So
you have
you're used to do it.
Yeah, I'm kind of used to it.
Yeah.
and as usual, you have your friend Petrus from Canada. So, guys, Michael, please, could you give a short introduction about yourself? Because you are an American guy who live in Brazil. That's why I become very curious about to hear what exactly you want to say.
Well, I am Michael Simpson. I co-run Steve the Vagabond and Silly Linguist on Facebook. I'm a private teacher, a private English teacher. So if you know anybody, wink, wink, set me up.
Advertising.
I enjoy long walks in the park and the beach, and I'm just most of the time I'm writing or studying. I don't really do too much else besides teach, study Portuguese, and do writing and whatnot. I came to Brazil, to Curitiba, Brazil. That's in the south, in the southern portion. I came here out of love. I met my wife on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. She commented and we got to talking, and then one thing led to another, and now we're married. I came over
My
here
God!
for
Oh my God!
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations! Yeah.
her. Thanks.
All right. So we're going to put your Facebook page on link. Usually you do it in the end before uploading the video, and also your YouTube channel too. I'm going to put it in as a link, as a reference. But
Sounds good.
please, let's go to start the beginning because you told a lot of things, you summarized everything, but let's go to keep in details, okay? I
Okay.
promise that I'm not going to do a personal questions, all right? but I need to understand the reason that why you decide to learn Portuguese. Why did you decide to learn Portuguese?
Well, okay, so it was 2 years ago. I hadn't met Paula yet. I hadn't even thought about going to Brazil. I hadn't thought about any of
Yeah.
these things. And whenever I joined Steve the Vagabond, I was just a writer, and then I was tasked with running a YouTube channel and the podcast. And I needed content because the best way to do YouTube is having lots of content to throw out there. So much content. And I figured since everybody was already interested in learning languages on the channel anyway, since that's the big gimmick behind Steve the Vagabond, talking about languages and puns and stuff, I figured that I would choose a language to learn and just broadcast myself learning the language. I decided Portuguese because of its similarity to Spanish, and because I figured that because I already know Spanish pretty well and I'm good with conversing in Spanish. Back then, my Spanish skills are basically non-existent at this point because of Portuguese.
Yeah.
Thanks, Portuguese. But I decided that, well, this should be easy enough to do. Yeah, I can do this. And then I started using Duolingo,
Mhm.
and I just kind of fell in love with the language. It's been definitely a love-hate relationship because at some points I'm just like, oh God, this language is so terrible. I cannot continue. And then I would stop for like 2-3 months at a time in between. I remember stopping for almost a full 4 months, like just bare minimum, if at all, not even like maybe weekly. I would study for like 15 minutes or something. So I'd probably say like give amount of time that I've been learning, it's probably been about 1.5 years.
So,
Yeah, go ahead.
sorry for interrupting. If I understood you well, you decide to create the Facebook page just to have more. Not exactly. You decide to learn another language to have more content to your Facebook page. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I like learning languages before. I've studied Spanish, obviously. I've studied French. I've studied some German.
Yeah.
Um, After I just figured that since I'm already doing it, advertise it and sell it, put it all in a
Yeah.
package and try to get some ad revenue off of it. And I mean, it sounds pretty bad now that I'm saying it out loud, but
No,
that's
that's not
basically,
bad.
yeah, that's basically what happened. I wanted to create content for YouTube, so I really started Portuguese for that very reason. I would do a video almost every single day of me just going at it on Duolingo and repeating words and stuff. I used Memrise some too. I didn't like the Portuguese course for Memrise very much. I didn't really like the Duolingo course very much either because the audio was terrible. But that's basically why I started studying Portuguese and a little bit of like my beginning at learning Portuguese as well.
Yeah, a big difference. Why did you pick the Brazilian Portuguese? Did you pick the Brazilian Portuguese or the Portugal, the Portuguese from Portugal?
That's a good question. Duolingo actually does not have Portuguese from Portugal. It only has Brazilian Portuguese. Memrise has both, but since Brazilian Portuguese is already on the Duolingo one, I kind of stuck with that one rather than switching to Portuguese from Portugal. And at this point, like there's content in Portuguese, but there's not enough to really like learn for me by itself. And honestly, like Brazilian Portuguese is enough.
Yeah, that's true. But there's one thing that there are a few tricky words that we have in Portuguese from Portugal, which cannot be said in
Yeah,
Portuguese from
definitely
Brazil.
not.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like
We can record an episode to talk about it. I have been following your Facebook page, and yeah, I've noticed that some people from Portugal put some comments there. Yeah, but yeah, I'm going to see. But there is no. To be honest with you, a lot of people say that they have a lot of difference, of course, but as Petrus mentioned, we have few words that is a little bit complicated to say. Uh, Not a complicated. I don't think the complicated
yeah.
is the correct
There is
word.
I've been to Portugal in 2010, 2009, 2011, and I remember there was a phrase which
Yeah.
was terrible in Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese, but it was super okay
Yeah,
in
could you tell
Portugal.
us? Could you tell
Yeah,
us?
it's
In
enraba,
Portuguese. Fica lá.
pega a criança, pega o putinho e enraba a bicha in
What? I
Portugal.
never hear it in Portugal.
Yeah, yeah. You know, putinho is it's like a kind of boy in Portuguese
Yeah,
from
yeah,
Portugal.
it's a no.
Enraba a bicha, it is end of the line, you know? But in Brazilian Portuguese, that's terrible to say, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Uh, Definitely, there is a lot of funny difference words from Brazilian
It's the same in
Portuguese.
Portuguese and Spanish. We have like pregnant, get pregnant. It's embaraçada in Spanish. In Portuguese, it is like embaraçada. It's a kind of you're complicated. You're a bit, you know. it's the same word but way different meanings, you know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Lots of false friends between all these languages. I can't think of a good example right now, but the pregnancy one basically hits it on the head.
Yeah.
But you know that I had the opportunity to meet a lot of students who lives in Lisbon, even that they don't speak Portuguese, but they are living here because the university, the college, or wherever. And I remember that a place called Mundolingo. Do you know that? Mundolingo is a place that you can go to. Like a expatriate club. You can join to that to learn a language, to improve, to learn another language, to meet people. And you need to assign yourself with your country land, your homeland. And I use it to put the Brazilian flag, of course. And a lot of people came to talk to me and said, "Oh, you're Brazilian. I'm trying to learn Portuguese." Yeah, but you are in Portugal. Yeah, but it's because I prefer learning Brazilian Portuguese, because if I learn Brazilian Portuguese, I can understand everything. I can speak. Everybody can understand me, and I can understand everybody. So, but it sounds that for the foreigners, it's a little bit hard to understand the Portuguese from Portugal. That's why. And from you, what do you think that? Did you have chance to listen Portuguese from Portugal?
Yes. I made it a habit last year. I mean, not that last year. Sorry, pandemic talking. But in the past few months, like every once in a while, I'll listen to some content in Portuguese, and just to kind of feel for the difference, because I don't want to learn something that I don't need necessarily. I don't need Portuguese for where I'm at in my studies, but it's good so then I can avoid content that I don't need, especially on YouTube, where there's never any difference in like you can't tell if somebody is from Brazil or Portugal just by looking at a title or a heading. You've got to like really feel for it. And I haven't studied it, but I at least know, if I hear Portuguese from Portugal, I can say, yeah, that does not sound like Brazilian Portuguese.
Yeah, you can
That
identify.
Yeah. It's especially with sound. Like I've noticed a few Portuguese people like have a real thick gargling sound in the back of their throat. Whenever I was listening to this one person do a conference, do a speech at the Polyglot conference from 2 years ago, and like they sounded so different from Brazilian Portuguese.
Yeah.
So, like this was like 3 months ago when I watched it, and I looked it up, and she was from Portugal, and I was like, oh, okay, this is why she sounds so different. And then I realized that most of the Polyglot conference content in Portuguese is actually in Portuguese, because that's where a lot of the people come from. There's not a lot of Brazilian representation at these conferences.
Okay. And I don't know if Petrus have been following the news or YouTubers, Gringos YouTubers, American YouTubers that decide to learn Portuguese. We have a lot of.
Yeah, there
But
is a Canadian one, a girl,
really,
which I
girl,
saw
yeah, I
this
know this
week.
girl. Yeah, I know this girl.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah,
this
she's
girl.
awesome. Yeah, she used to live here in Vancouver, but I think she moved to Ontario.
Yeah, it sounds that she was living in São Paulo. I'm not sure. But there's two guys, Tim Explica, I think his channel
Yeah,
is
Team Explica. Yeah.
Tim Explica, and another
And
gringo
Smart
in Brazil.
Adventures. Yeah,
Smart Adventures is very good. I like to watch. And there's another guy,
Gavin.
there's a Gavin from Smart Adventures, and there's
Yeah.
another guy, I don't know his name. I think the channel on Instagram is Gringo in Brazil, something like this.
Yeah, he's a kind of friend of
Yeah.
Team Explica. Yeah.
Yeah, this guy has a lot of opportunity to do things for free in Brazil. It sounds that he lives like a rich person living things that I never had the opportunity to live in Brazil like this. and everything for free because he's to become a, how can I say, to become a Instagram influence
A
speaking
digital
Portuguese,
influencer.
digital influence speaking
Influencer.
Portuguese.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
I think by myself, I'm trying studying hard to improve my English, and if I decide to record a video and put on YouTube, probably I won't receive things like this. I won't receive gifts and comments, good improvement. Oh, your English is very well. I'm going to send a candy from USA to you. I think this kind of thing is never going to
Yeah,
happen
but
for
there's
me.
one thing. Do you know what is the difference? Like, you can make more money when you speak in English, like in YouTube, etc.
Recording
The
video to
different,
YouTube.
yeah, it's like maybe
Oh,
you get 5-6 times more in English than in Portuguese, because the point is the people don't put money, do not put that much of money in Portuguese, but in English it's everywhere. It's not
Yeah,
just one
yeah,
customer. It's
yeah.
not just US and Canada. No,
yeah.
you have British, you have, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But
Fully agree.
maybe it's a tip for you. Maybe it's a secret for you, Michael. Maybe it's your chance to get money in Brazil. Start to record videos in speaking Portuguese. Even that you're going to make a lot of mistakes. Don't worry about that because they
Yeah.
started like this.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, like we get impressed when we see some Gringos speaking Portuguese,
Yeah,
because it's difficult.
Yeah.
yeah.
We know it's very difficult to learn Portuguese.
You bring up some really good points, but there's a couple more key. Like I've been studying this for a while, especially whenever I was first starting out on YouTube. Like the best ways of getting the most audience, and like most of these individuals who blow up like this get it on luck.
You think it's a
And
lux
a
only?
lot of luck.
Yeah,
Like you've
yeah, a
got
lot of
to
them is like, yeah.
No.
you've got to have the most luck whenever you're just joining in order to
Yeah.
become really successful. Our best video on the Steve the Vagabond channel has only had like maybe 50,000 views, and that was only because another video linked us in the recommendations. Our two videos became kind of synonymous with each other. And
Yeah.
that's the only reason that we basically just piggybacked off of another video. And that's how we had such a large influx of followers. It really takes a very different strategy from Facebook. Facebook, like it's all like if you don't have an image attached to your post, then the post isn't going to be successful. You will
Yeah.
not get a lot of success unless you absolutely have an image attached to it, because that's how the Facebook algorithm works. The YouTube algorithm requires clickbait,
Yeah.
lots of clickbait, something people haven't seen before, but are interesting enough.
Funny things.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, one thing
right.
that like now that my perception about YouTube, like they don't care too much now if you have like some special word that you can add there, you do not get audience anymore. That's funny because they share the so when the click is coming from Facebook, they know when the click is coming from Google. They know when, like, if you do not spread around the other social networks, you do not get recommended for other videos.
Yeah,
Except
yeah.
except if you decide to record something very very funny to become a viral. Okay, like for them, the first videos that people trying to learn in, another language in the maybe 5 years ago to become a viral because it was very funny. I remember a lot of gringos recording videos, try to speak Portuguese using Google Translate, something like this, and to become very funny and a viral in the social media. But nowadays,
Oh
this
yeah.
is not news anymore. So you need to do a hard
Yeah.
job, a hard work to achieve some
Yeah, it's
kind of
way difficult
audience.
now.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true.
And plus the fact that there's a giant oversaturation of language content on YouTube. Like you all you have to do is type in learn language, and like billions of recommendations pop up. Like it has become so overflowing with content that it's really hard to find genuine content amongst all the clickbait. And language YouTubers really do not help with that. And I'm guilty of it too, honestly. Like I try to make the most clickbaity titles possible for my videos because I know that that's the only way to hit the algorithm. You've got to have the clickbait. You've got to have the catchiest title, the catchiest thumbnail. I'm terrible at making thumbnails though. And there's a lot of YouTubers who will overhype their own successes with the language in order to draw in audience members. Like there was this person named Nathaniel Green or something like that. He recently put up a video saying, I learned Portuguese in 7 days.
Yes, I watched this guy.
Oh, no. And like, it's so frustrating because I know that's not accurate. I know that's not true. You cannot learn a language in just 7 days, especially a language like Portuguese, where there's so many regionalisms, so many accents, so many regional vocabulary. You simply cannot learn you cannot learn this language in even 3 months. Like you're gonna have to put in a lot of serious time and a lot of serious effort in order to get what you need with the language. And language YouTubers overhype their own successes in order to generate more views, and then it gives an unrealistic expectation to actual language learners, such as myself, who I have bought into the hype of these videos. I was like, yeah, I can learn a language in a week. I can speak fluently in 3 months. And the reality is, no, it's not actually possible to do that. You're always I have studied Portuguese for 5 hours a day, every single day, for almost 3 months now.
So let's go to talking Portuguese right now, man.
Yeah, go on ahead. You know what? Do it. I missed my Portuguese thing today.
When you are learning a language, that's why we decided to record this video in English, because I really think that when you are learning language, we must expose yourself without fear. Ok, vamos falar em português agora.
Ok. Em português, eu falo agora.
Ok, vamos lá. Fala aí, Petros.
Tem uma coisa interessante aqui, o Wagner. Eu tô com uma lista aqui de 10 itens que eu vou tentar falar devagar, tá, Michael? Se você não entender alguma coisa, você me diz, por favor, você me fala, por favor.
Ok.
Tem 10 coisas que surpreenderam o gringo quando visita o Brasil.
Bom ponto. Vamos lá.
É um negócio da Veja de 2017. A primeira coisa é a comanda. Você sabe o que é comanda individual, Michael?
Eu diria que é muito difícil ser gringo no Brasil no primeiro caso. Porque a gente precisa a língua para tudo. Para o supermercado, a escola, a documentação, para o processo do cidadão. É muito importante antes chegar no Brasil estudar muito em português, porque se você não estudar em português e não estudar português antes, você tem muitos problemas com o processo no primeiro. Por exemplo, eu fui ao Ministério da Fazenda e Economia receber um CPF. CPF, sim. CPF.
Okay, go ahead. It's very funny because in Curitiba they ask your CPF for everything.
Sim,
Yeah.
é ridículo. Porque precisa um CPF no supermercado.
É imposto.
Yeah, because the
The
tax
tax.
forms. The
The
tax
tax.
forms.
Imposto.
Imposto.
Yeah.
Ok. Não paguei, nunca peguei meu imposto, o
Mas é
governo.
para isso mesmo, que eu acho que
Não,
você pode abater, você pode colocar no seu tax return, no seu imposto de renda, você pode declarar isso. Eu não sei como isso funciona,
eu
mas eu sei que
sei,
tem
eu
alguma coisa
sei.
desse tipo.
Lá em Curitiba é um dos melhores do Brasil, o único lugar que eu vi isso funcionar de verdade. Realmente lá, toda vez que você vai na grocery store, no supermercado, e todos os comerciantes pedem o seu CPF. Eu vou falar mais devagar. Pedem o seu CPF. Você informa aquilo e aquilo vai para um sistema. Então tem o sistema estadual, que é o do Paraná todo, e tem o sistema de Curitiba. Aquilo vai para nota Curitiba ou nota Paraná, ok? E quando chega no fechamento, antes de você declarar, o governo te devolve uma parte desse dinheiro. Eu já cheguei a receber cerca de 500 e pouco em um ano. Quer dizer, em 11 meses. Em 11 meses eu recebi uns 800 de retorno. Então eu informava nota CPF na nota, para tudo. E aí depois eu entrava no site, escolhia para qual conta eu queria ser direcionado esse dinheiro e o dinheiro caía na minha conta. Então assim, foi o único lugar do Brasil que eu vi isso funcionar na prática.
Hum.
Nós ainda temos 10
É,
minutos, continua, e aí depois a gente entra de novo e grava. Continua. Go ahead.
se-
Continue.
Tudo bem. Eu sei o limite não recorda aqui no minha tela, na minha tela. Basicamente é muito difícil. Preciso o aprendizagem da língua antes você começar a chegar, está chegando aqui. Preciso entendimento da cultura também, especialmente em Curitiba. É muito diferente aqui de outras partes no país. É muito frio na personalidade das pessoas aqui. Na mídia dos Estados Unidos, a cultura brasileira está representando pelo carnaval e beijos entre essas pessoas. Mas em Curitiba, nas expectativas entre essas pessoas são muito diferentes. Quando você entra em um país estrangeiro, período,
Yeah.
você precisa entender um pouco da cultura. Por exemplo, em México, é muito diferente dos Estados Unidos. Quando você viaja na México ou Argentina ou Portugal, você precisa um pouco da cultura. É um pouco diferente também quando você tornar-se um brasileiro ou brasileira. Preciso muitas coisas mais diferentes no entendimento também. Sim, é tudo. Entendimento e aprendizagem e entender as coisas sempre são diferentes. Sempre.
Eu acho que você não teve sorte em 2 pontos, Michael. Primeiro, o lugar que você escolheu para poder morar, e eu não sei se você teve a chance de escolher. Consegue entender? I don't know if you had a chance to choose for Curitiba or Rio de Janeiro or São Paulo. We're going to talk about it later. But I'm going back to português. O que acontece é que Curitiba realmente tem um comportamento diferente. As pessoas têm um comportamento diferente de outras regiões do Brasil. Se você for para o lado do Nordeste ou até mesmo no Rio de Janeiro, as pessoas realmente são um pouco mais calorosas, mais próximas e mais comunicativas e fazem amizades mais rápido, principalmente no Rio de Janeiro. Você teve a chance de visitar o Rio de Janeiro?
Não tenho chance agora.
Mas você visitou, já esteve lá no Rio de Janeiro?
Não, só visitou Curitiba e São Paulo.
Okay.
São Paulo um pouco, mais pouco de Curitiba.
Ok. E quanto tempo exatamente você está morando em Curitiba?
3 meses agora. Sim.
Sorry for interrupt you. Maybe because I did the wrong question. You moved, but you have visited Curitiba before, that's right?
Sim.
Okay.
Em janeiro.
Ok. Então você visitou Curitiba em janeiro, conheceu, ficou alguns meses e depois voltou agora, está morando agora em Curitiba.
Sim.
Okay.
Eu visitei Curitiba no janeiro, porque precisa conhecer minha esposa futura. E
we need to talk about it.
Uma lua de mel.
Wow, congratulations.
Sabe? Obrigado. Agosto eu mudei na Curitiba porque um momento, no abril eu queria ter sido brasileiro, porque eu quero mudar. Eu quis mudar em abril, mas porque a pandemia troca todos para mim e ela. É muito diferente ao ponto no tempo, porque é muito difícil explicar. Quando abril chega no tempo, eu tentei sair dos Estados Unidos, mas a fronteira encerrada.
A fronteira estava fechada.
Foi fechado no momento. E foi muito triste. Não sei, o tempo podia sair dos Estados Unidos. Nós queremos começar uma vida entre nós. Quis live together.
Ok, vocês querem viver juntos?
Sim, juntos. A pandemia
atrapalhou. This is the word that I tried to teach you some weeks ago. Essa é a palavra que eu tentei te ensinar algumas semanas atrás. A pandemia atrapalhou. Ela estragou.
Yeah. It's screwed your life.
Yeah.
Sim, exatamente. Foi terrível. Todos os mundos, as vidas de todos os mundos, obviamente, não é pior das pessoas. Foi muito, foi ter muito sorte em regards às pessoas diferentes, obviamente, porque eu sou vivendo agora e falando com você, mas eu sentia muito triste e tem raiva. Eu tenho um plano diferente, sair os Estados Unidos em julho, porque eu tenho uma ideia poupar minha meu dinheiro, receber muito dinheiro, mais dinheiro por uma viagem antes eu sair. Mas quando julho chega. Chegou. Sim, obrigado. Chegou, eu tenho o voo ao São Paulo e Curitiba. E viagem entre minha cidade de Evansville ao Miami. E eu cheguei ao aeroporto no Miami e descobri o voo foi cancelado. Eu tive muito raiva.
Você ficou muito puto. You know this yeah, you know this expression?
Puta que pariu! Que isso? Foi muito... minha cabeça tem o pior de dor na minha vida. Quando eu descobri, eu liguei a minha agência de viajar e argumentando para 1 hora, 2 horas, 3 horas, buscando um jeito ao ir ao Brasil. A agência e a Latam Airlines também me disse não é possível agora porque você não está nacional e foi muito complicado porque agora preciso retornar à minha cidade maternal e eu moro I stayed in a hotel.
Você ficou no hotel?
You stayed no hotel. Você ficou no hotel. Ficou hospedado. Ficou hospedado no hotel.
Because hospedado it's a kind of difficult word, but that's okay. Both works.
Yeah.
Muito obrigado. Muito difícil. Eu fico em hotel por uma noite muito caro. Quase $100. Tem voo novo. Tive um voo novo. Muito caro. Minhas poupanças são
Eles não te deram uma chance de
saindo.
fazer um voo diferente? Tipo, eles não te ofereceram uma
Another
rota
date.
diferente, a outra data, alguma coisa assim?
Sim, mas não foi possível sair ao aeroporto hoje mesmo. Porque não tive os voos ao Evansville isso dia. Precisei esperar dia, quase 20 horas, quase 20 horas no aeroporto. Porque a pandemia também cancelar muitos voos ao mesmo tempo.
Yeah.
Foi tempo muito terrível.
Sorry, we have a name to summarize everything you said in Portuguese. Only one name, only one word. Petros já está rindo porque Petros já sabe. Perrengue, o nome disso é perrengue. This name is perrengue.
Send that to me in the
Yeah,
chat.
I'm going to chat for you. I'm going to chat perrengue.
Yeah, there are some words that we do not have translation to Portuguese, to English, but
I
it's a
think
kind of funny word.
perrengue can summarize every trouble that you're going to find during the trip, during your travel, or whole process. Everything
When
you can summarize.
When you get struggled with something, it's a kind of word that we use. Like you get struggled to do some stuff, and then you say, estou passando perrengue para fazer isso.
Yeah.
You know,
Exatamente. Perrengue. Todo o tempo durante o mês de julho. Todo. O mês inteiro. Eu tive dor dessa cabeça durante o mês inteiro, basicamente. Em agosto, a fronteira está aberta agora. E ora tem o chance sair dos Estados Unidos e tocar o chance também. E agora estou aqui no Curitiba e nós planejamos casamento antes agora. No abril nós esperávamos casar-se. Mas porque a pandemia mudou tudo. Os planos e a horária de governo acordei aos encontros com o governo e tudo. Recebi muitos documentos mais atrasados de o tempo eu quis. Enfim, recebi os documentos inteiros e, enfim, podia casar com minha vida.
Bom, let's go to take advantage that you talk about it, and thank you to share it as your perrengue. I think it's going to be a very good story. I think Petros, maybe you need to split this video in 2 or 3 parts, and this part is perrengue chique, gringo perrengue chique, something like this. But I'm going to take advantage that you talk about this period that you're trying to live in Brazil, try to move to Brazil directly. And I know that recently, I think yesterday was the Thanksgiving in USA. That's right? Yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely
So
Yeah, this
yeah,
was.
week. Yeah.
yeah. How is being an expat for Thanksgiving?
Did you do something?
Um,
What? Yeah.
Because
yeah,
it's your first times outside the USA in the Thanksgiving. Is that right? Yeah. How do
yes,
you feel about
yes.
that? Do you feel sad?
Mm. Primeiro, foi orfão.
Sorry.
Quando orfão, orfou, orfá,
Try to
orphan,
say. Try to say in
Let's
English.
say in English.
orphan, orphan,
Or
No.
orphan,
orphan.
sozinho.
Ah,
Yeah.
você. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we don't use
Yeah.
that
Okay.
word.
Yeah. Okay.
We can understand now, but it's a kind of você estava sozinho, é
Yeah.
solitário.
Okay.
But
Okay.
not so lonely because you are with your wife. But that's right.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I mean,
But not
I'm
with your
with my
family.
wife over here. Um, it was kind of hard because around this time, like I would see pictures of my
Family.
my adopted father and mother, and they had died. So like I would feel like I felt kind of sad near the beginning of the day.
Um,
And I thought about all the things that I missed about Thanksgiving, like food wise. Um,
yeah,
but I
sorry
mean,
for that, guy. But
oh, it's okay. I more than make up for it over here with all the delicious foods
yeah.
in Brazil. But it was definitely different. Like in my feeling about the holiday. I didn't necessarily miss all the family members because I had visited the United States a few weeks ago and I visited my grandma, and that was basically it.
Yeah.
And I visited my workplace family members, the people that I had spent a couple years developing relationships with in my old workplace. But other than that, I only felt the pangs of sadness in the morning whenever I went over whenever I saw some old photos and whatnot. Eventually, I just kind of got over it because like in like an orphan for so long. It's like it doesn't really matter if you're not experiencing holiday the same way as you did when you're younger,
Oh.
because I don't know if it's the same way with others, but like I kind of compartmentalized all those emotions and feelings for so long, and I kind of just stick it in a box, and I
Okay.
don't think about that. I don't think about those about my previous situations as much. Like I try to focus on what is here and what is present, which is my wife and my new family, both of which make me very happy. So I'm more excited that I'm developing memories with my wife now, this Thanksgiving, doing new things. Like for example, we had a pizza. We had like 2 large pizzas that we split over a couple days, and it's great. I've never had pizza on Thanksgiving before. It was wonderful to like have a beer and a few slices of pizza, churro bread, and it's and I mean, yeah, like obviously the memory of Thanksgiving is always gonna come back. There's always gonna be like something that I miss about something, but for the most part, I'm pretty stoked just making new memories with my wife.
I
Yeah,
think
that's great, man, because you're
yeah.
keeping positive, and just talking the very good part about it, which it's exactly the I think it's the right mindset. You are doing
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, this is the growth mindset, definitely, yes. Yeah, I just ask it because I've read in some place, I don't know, I don't remember where, but it sounds that after everything that I've read about Thanksgiving, it sounds that in USA is almost more important than Christmas. So that's why I ask you, so was your first time? What about,
What?
yeah, for me, everything that they talk
Oh.
about Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving is so important like that.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
I
It is a
mean,
kind of.
yeah,
I think it's
it's.
more for American than Canadians. Canadians,
Yeah.
we have Thanksgiving different dates,
Mm,
but we have it. But it's not
mhm.
so important as I can see, like for Americans.
Yeah, but now we have a different perspective from Michael. So,
No, 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 no. Okay, Thanksgiving is an incredibly important holiday in the United States. So important. But Christmas is so ingrained into the United States mindset. Almost everybody celebrates Christmas, no matter their religion, that because it's so traditional at this point.
no.
Thanksgiving, I mean, people also celebrate Thanksgiving as well, but it's not as huge as it is as Christmas is, holiday wise, because take for example my old workplace at Walgreens. We have Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. You take out Thanksgiving. As soon as you're done with all the Halloween stuff, it's Christmas. Like you skip it altogether. You don't you might have a little section devoted to some traditional Thanksgiving foods, but for the most part, it's just comes right to Christmas. Walmart is kind of the same way. Like they have some Thanksgiving stuff, but they have a whole lot more Christmas stuff before they have Thanksgiving stuff. Like they put up Christmas trees back in August. Like that's
Whoa.
how big that's how big Christmas is as a holiday. Like they'll have it months
Yeah,
ahead of time.
I'm preparing my home for the Christmas. I bought yesterday 18 meters of lights for the house,
Wow.
just for the windows. Inside because I cannot put nothing outside. So I'm
No,
just
Yeah.
preparing inside. No, I
you
can't. I
cannot, you
can't because
cannot.
it's a rented place. So it's not me.
Okay.
It's going to define this. Because it's a kind of funny as well because it's a big house. It's shared. Like
Mm,
it's completely shared. That's a kind of difficult concept for us because in Brazil we do not have this kind of house usually. It's like a big
mm.
house. It's in the middle. You have like something like the wall, which share. It's exactly shared between those two families. So I just
Okay.
bought it. I did it lots of stuff, and today I have to finish this.
Nice.
Yeah, Christmas
Mm.
it's a huge one here.
What about you,
Yeah.
Michael? Are you excited to, do you have plan to stay Christmas in Brazil?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We're gonna be going over to my mother-in-law's on Christmas Day, and we're gonna have our gifts exchanged. Then I am not going back to the United States if I can help it. I am not feeling the whole traveling across the world thing again. Like I've done it too many times at this point. I'm staying firm exactly wherever my wife is. That's where I'm gonna go from now on
Yeah,
because
it's
I
that's
am
your new
sick and
family.
tired traveling
Yeah.
around,
Uh,
especially with all these restrictions.
Yeah, and I think from my perspective, the Christmas, of course, that I never had the opportunity to to experience the Christmas in USA, but in
Mm,
Brazil is very traditional, especially in the south of Brazil. As I mentioned before, in the south of Brazil, they are very traditional persons, like family, religion, something like this. And I think is going to have. I think you're going to have a great Christmas in Brazil. It's going to be our first and great Christmas in Brazil.
I think so too. I don't remember what she's making, but I know that I was pretty excited whenever they said whatever she was making.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Hopefully, it's more mayonnaise.
It's a kind of your that did you try the it's not bananada. Oh my gosh, the bread it's dried. What is the name? Rabanada.
Rabanada.
Did you try?
Did you try?
Rabanada, you know what
But
it is?
this is the point, Petrus, because there in Curitiba, the people even don't know rabanada. I
Oh,
was very
that's not
surprised.
possible, man.
I was very surprised
Yeah.
there. Me and my wife have had the chance to visit some families there, and the Christmas, and they don't have it. They don't know. They don't eat
They don't know what it
rabanada.
is. That's
I've
not
never even
true.
heard
No,
of
that
habanada.
some people
That's
knows
crazy.
some people knows exactly what exactly rabanada means, but they
Mhm.
don't. How can I say? They don't use it. They don't acquaintance to eat. You know?
I think over here we more rely on português.
Yes, sir.
Like
Yeah.
people I think
Yeah.
prefer português as their coffee
No,
time staple.
Yeah, but
yes, but
Rabanada is
raban
very traditional just about this time,
Mm.
like during the
exactly.
Christmas and end of the year, you know?
Okay.
I even cannot imagine
Mm.
my life in Christmas without rabanadas. Rabanadas and Guaraná
Yeah.
Antárticas.
Yeah, it's a kind of sadness for me, you know? How
But
these
I
people, how dare you?
yeah, but it sounds that Curitiba is another Brazil. That I said. Sometimes I mention it for my friends. Curitiba is another Brazil because
mm.
we have a lot of different things from in Curitiba if you compare it to
Mm.
Rio de Janeiro. So rabanada is something is one of them.
I think for me, like the most traditional food I can have around Christmas is eggnog. Eggnog is the I don't know if y'all have heard of it, but it is the best
Eggnog.
freaking
Yeah, I
drink
don't think you know
ever.
what is Wagner, but I know what is eggnog.
I don't
I don't
know.
like it, but I know what it is.
Oh, eggnog.
That's
It's like
fine. I love and respect you. That's perfectly fine. But the best drink ever. I am obsessed with eggnog. I managed to grab like a little jug while I was over in the States, and I drank it all
oh,
in like a single day.
Did you find something like in Curitiba that you can compare with eggnog?
No, I have not. I have not
No?
found
Yeah.
anything
It's
remotely
I
similar to
tried
eggnog.
here in Canada as well. When I tried, said, "Oh, hey, I didn't like this," but and then they people said, "Oh, this is so traditional." I said, "Oh, yeah, that's true. I never tried." Like,
yeah. Let's go to take advantage that you mentioned the difference. And what about your adaptation process? Do you feel a lot of difference from
just
your homeland to
Wagner,
Curitiba? Go ahead,
Wagner,
Petrus.
can I? As I said, like I started to say about the ten things that the American
Yes,
that usually it's
yes.
press the gringos, you know.
Try to say it
Let
in English, Michael.
I'm gonna try to say that each one that in English. The first
Okay.
one is comando individual. It's a kind of paper which you can order your stuff yourself. It's
The,
individual.
the bar and the restaurant.
And yeah, bar or
Mm.
restaurant, when you go to somewhere and the guy give you a paper which you go and you like pick food, etc. This is your paper. You know,
Yeah.
Mm.
you have to pay. I don't know if that traditional in Curitiba, but in Rio it's very common.
I haven't been to very many restaurants because of the pandemic, unfortunately. I can probably count on one hand how many restaurants I've ate at so far in Brazil, and it's not a lot.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. That's the first
Yeah.
thing. Makes some
Okay.
sense. The name is Comanda. The
Comando.
another thing
Okay.
it's how we eat avocado.
With sugar. For
Is it
us,
with the
it's sugar.
spoon and you dig it out?
Yeah, no, how we eat because we know
Yeah.
avocado for us it's a kind of sweet stuff. It's not. If you
It's
put us in avocado in a salad, the people will look at you like, "Hey, what are you doing?"
yeah, but there is in Curitiba there is avocado in the salad too in some restaurant. But in the nutshell, in Brazil they use it to eat avocado with sugar. Me as well. I just eat avocado with sugar.
Yeah. The
Mm.
another thing it's get on time. We are always delayed.
Get on time.
That's true.
Oh
Yes,
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
yes.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my God, Curitiba is all about being late for things.
Yeah. No, it's
Like,
everybody. In
Yeah.
Brazil,
yeah, in
everybody.
Brazil, period. I mean, yeah, in Brazil, period. But I've noticed that like everybody I've interacted with here in Curitiba is generally Like we don't do things just on time. Like it's
sorry for
very,
later.
Okay, sorry about that, but that's true.
It's okay.
The change, maybe some stuff here do not get opportunity to face too much because it's during this time it's tough time. So
Yeah.
change, because sometimes we can say like, hey, I don't have the change. That's okay. Bye. When you have like a small piece, like 10 centavos, 10 cents,
Okay,
something
yes,
like that,
yeah.
Oh,
we
we
say
do the
no,
same
that's
thing.
okay. That's okay. But they say like it's not too common for people for gringo. And the beer, how we drink the beer, because we drink the beer super cold. We drink the beer usually it's a kind of 600 milli, uh, just bottle.
Degrees.
We do not have big bottles, etc.
Mhm.
The burgers, that's one good thing because you never experienced it, and I hope you do not experience that for a short period. It's how we bury the people, because in Brazil we bury the people like in a day. Like somebody passed away today, tomorrow we are going to bury them.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Usually, like the people here can wait a little bit, they can postpone a little bit.
Mm.
In Brazil, we do not wait. Like next day, we are done.
Yeah. It's the exact opposite in the United States. Like we can take up to a week to bury people.
Exactly. Here in Brazil,
Yeah.
that's not common. How we kisses each other, like it's very common for us to kisses,
Yeah,
hugs,
but
etc.
Not in Curitiba
not
though.
in
Yeah, I
Curitiba.
will ask
Not
you
in
that.
Curitiba.
I
Yeah.
will ask you that. Like it was different because Wagner said
Yeah.
exactly this.
Yeah.
So
It is
that's
very
funny.
different.
Yeah. How we use the toilet paper, because we do not put the
Uh,
toilet paper on we
yeah.
just put it like in a garbage. It's separated.
You see, we do the exact same thing in the United States, though, on that one, where I'm from, because because of the septic systems in the country, you can't stick it
Okay.
in the toilet. You have to stick it in the trash bag. You can like stick it in the toilet, but a lot of country families just stick it in the trash bag separately.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
a good, is a new
Yeah.
for me. I didn't know about that. For me, every system there was
Mm.
perfect, and we did it never did it. Of course, that maybe as you mentioned, that maybe in small city is a little bit
It's
different.
definitely a country thing. Like you don't find it happening in the towns, but like I come from the countryside
Okay.
in the United States, and it's definitely a very like all over the south of the United States. Like people do it like that.
Curiosity. We need to split
Yeah,
this part in the
that's
video.
funny. Yeah. There's the last 2 points here. I don't think maybe you're not get to use it. You heard about it. Maybe if it's not common for you, it's okay. That's one guy which we call as flanelinha. It's a
Oh,
guy which take care about your car. When you park somewhere, there is a guy charging you for some money. Sometimes you have
Mhm.
a price, sometimes no. They just wait for you to give them something, and they're taking care about the cars, because nobody
Mm.
will do something bad for your car with your car. It's a kind of weird stuff that we have too much in Rio, but I don't know if it's that to come around the country. Sao Paulo we have some as well. I don't know if in Curitiba we have it.
yes, in Curitiba we have it. Even that we have a lot. It is very curious because it's very
Mhm.
funny because in Curitiba we have a lot of place to park the car. Even that you go into the drugstore or you go to the bakery store, there's a place
Mhm.
to park your car there. All public park, there's a place to park your car. And in the public park in Curitiba, like Barigui, for example, we have people working as a flanelinha. But
Mhm.
they don't charge you, they don't demand you as in Rio de Janeiro. I don't know how can I say it in English. Eles não são incisivos assim, insistentes com você igual no Rio
they
de Janeiro.
they are not too aggressive,
Yeah, they are not aggressive like
Yeah.
in Rio de Janeiro.
because the people
And
in Rio, they
yeah,
charge you like, hey, you have to give me 10 reais,
yeah,
something
you
like that.
must to
You
pay.
have to. You
Yeah,
have to.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
yeah,
an option.
yeah.
Yeah, the people in the United States who do that ask for money too.
Yeah.
No, but in this case, is not asking for money on the street. It's the situation is you're going to park
No.
your car in a public place that you don't need to pay, but these people came to you and charge you to ask you to money, asking for money,
Yeah,
for example.
because in US you have the toll which you can pay and you
Mhm.
can park there for some time, but in Brazil you don't have it. Like when it's public, nobody pays for it. And the point is, there are those guys that take care about the area. I say, hey, you are parking this area. I'm gonna take care about your car. But to be
Yeah.
honest with you,
Yeah,
they're
no,
not doing this.
they
If
don't care about
somebody
your
stole your
car.
car, they don't care.
Yeah.
And another thing, that's a funny one. Maybe you never experienced it. How we go to the beach.
In Curitiba don't have beats in
Yeah,
Curitiba.
don't have it
Curitiba,
because
no, no.
like we spend all day long when we go to the beach. We spend all day long.
Uh,
So we go there, we go for like we go for the sun, and then we drink beers, and then we have shots, and then sometimes the people start music, and you get there like for 8 hours, 6 hours. Usually the gringo go to the beach, they just get there for 2 hours. Okay, bye, see you. But we are not used to do it. We are used to spend all day long.
Depends on which gringo you're talking to, because I mean, personally, I'll be there at the beach for an hour, but I know people who are exactly that same way, who will spend all day at the beach. Like I have some friends who have done this very same thing. Like they'll stop and they'll go to a restaurant, get more drunk, and then go right back to the beach right afterwards.
Yeah, but that's like we use like in Rio, we are used to drink because in US you cannot drink in the beach, yeah. But in Rio we can. So we go and we have like something like a storage, a container, which we put just the beers inside and ice, and we keep there and we just drink like all day long. So we pay like a little bit cheaper in the supermarket, the beer, and we put in the storage and that just go to the beach, spend all day long there. So it's a kind of different thing they feel. Those are the 10 things that it's like surprend the gringo.
yeah, the point is Curitiba doesn't have the Curitiba doesn't. I think you can go to you can visit a beach 2 hours by car from Curitiba, I think. Ilha do Mel. I don't know if you hear about Ilha do Mel. Ilha do
Honey
Mel.
Island.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. No,
Did you hear
I've
about?
heard of that one. Yeah, I've heard of that one. I hear it's
Have
pretty
you
popular.
have you ever visited a beach in Brazil?
No.
Not yet.
We like I said, pandemic. Like my life is mostly just here at home.
Yeah.
It's pretty much impossible to go and travel and do all these things, especially when the cases have spiked like it is right now.
Okay. Oh, it's a beer.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So I guess to sum up my life in Brazil, it's not that different from how it was in the United States. I mostly just kept to myself. The only real difference now is I have better food, obviously, and I have my wife with me, and we are growing our life together and doing these things, having our little adventures. And as soon as this pandemic calms down, we're going to have a lot more adventures after that. But life in the United States is not that. I mean, life in Brazil is not horribly different from life in the United States, and I really enjoy it over here.
Great, good to know that about it. Is sometimes we record some episode talk about the life abroad. For example, Petros is living in Canada. I have another friends live in France, in Belgium, and I think we recorded almost 3 or 4 episodes to talk about how to live abroad, the whole process, everything like this. It's good to have opinion from someone from another country that he's living in Brazil. That I think it was wrong. I need to do this phrase again. It's good to have a perspective from someone from another nationality that you are living in Brazil. So that's why I
Yeah.
invite you. And thank you for joining us, and thanks for attending this podcast.
All right. Thank you, Wagner. Stay sharp.
What does like this means? Stay sharp.
Stay sharp. It's how do I say in Portuguese?
It's like stay
Tipo,
cool.
ficar ligado. Fica ligado.
Ah, ok. Fica ligado. Fica ligado. Fica ligado aí no Curitiba aí, gringo.
Yeah. It's a kind of thing that we say in Portuguese because stay sharp translating like pure English to Portuguese is gonna be like fica inteligente. It's something like that.
Yeah, it's a little bit strange.
It's a little
bit
Like
yeah.
translate it.
It's not. It's more of a metaphor, but you know.
yeah, sure, we got it.
Yeah.
So, Pat, do you want to do more questions, or it's okay for you?
No, I'm okay. Thanks for joining us and share your experience, different experience. It's totally different perspective for our country. As I said, like it's difficult times, so you do not get the opportunity to visit to another place. When you go, you will see like it's great.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't wait.
I think after the pandemic situation, you're going to have a fun in Curitiba because we have a rodízio de carne. I don't know if you know what exactly I mean. A barbecue. How can I say?
It's this
churrascaria.
Churrascaria. Yeah, but how can I say churrascaria?
I've been to a churrascaria.
But barbecue restaurant, I think.
Barbecue store. I don't know how.
I don't know how can I say churrascaria in English, but you have a lot of churrascarias in Curitiba.
Yeah, because here we have lots of all you can eat. Like we have all you can eat.
Buffet.
Steakhouse. I think it's steakhouse.
Steakhouse. Yeah, steakhouse is good.
Yeah, steakhouse is where you have just beef. Yeah.
But the Curitiba we have a full buffet, a complete buffet with a lot of food that you can eat everything that you want and pay only one price. So it's amazing thing. Is that good?
We
if
don't
you compare,
have nothing compared in like.
Everybody that no.
No, we have that all over the place in the United States. Buffets are so famous.
Yeah, buffet. Yeah, but you have like a house where the focus is beef, and then you have the buffet. That's the point. That's the difference.
Oh,
the main one is the beef. You know,
gotcha.
The buffet it's another thing more. In US, usually you have the buffet. You have beef, but the main one is the buffet. It's not the beef. You know.
And the great point, the Curitiba has a good price if you compare to São Paulo and Rio de Janeiro. Yeah. So the churrascarias in Curitiba are very, very rich, very, very good, very, very beautiful, and have a good price. For me, it's a perfect. Well, I think it was the best 11 months that of my life live in Brazil. All right, one more time. Thanks, Guy. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Pets. So it's good to have you here. Join us again for another opportunity if you want. Okay. Yeah,
just tell me when, and I'll join, and I'll try to speak only Portuguese for the next time.
Yeah, let's go to do it. I'm going to.
But today we did it both. That's great.
Yeah. This is great, and your Portuguese is very good. I think that if you keep doing it. Maybe I'm going to talk in português right now. Se você continuar a falar, interagir em português em reuniões como essa, eu acho que você vai acelerar seu aprendizado. E é bom se expor mesmo. Você assistir depois você falando em português e ver como é que você foi, o quão bom você foi ou não, o que você precisa melhorar. Eu acho que isso é muito bom. Bom, sorry, go ahead.
Obrigado.
Bom, pessoal, esse foi o episódio de hoje, gravado em português e inglês. Até a próxima. Compartilha esse vídeo, clica no like e comenta embaixo suas dúvidas, suas questões. Até a próxima. Bye, bye.
Inscreva-se. Adiós.
Valeu.